this girl was.
Wow. Let's get it, man. Welcome to episode 8 of the Grade A show. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Doing good. How you all doing today?
Good, we good. I'm back with
Doing good.
We're going to be talking about a bunch of things today. Dreco's here, Musa's here, Ace is here, Mike is back. Welcome to another episode, and we have a new member, a new guest of the show, Mr. Efojie, man. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing? I've been watching the show, and that was a cool graphic that I just seen. Like the little intro was dope. But I've been watching that for a minute, kind of following. Excited.
Appreciate that, man. Welcome to your first episode of the Grade A show. We thank you for being here. We hope we can have you on for more episodes. We encourage everybody to like the channel, subscribe. Let's get right into it. The Celtics. Let's get into it.
Go ahead, Mike. Go first. I want to hear this.
All right, I'll go first. I'm a Celtics fan, but this man, Jayson Tatum, he's having some identity problems. He thinks he's this man all of a sudden when he ain't. He needs to get back to being who he is and just stop, man. You can go play for the Lakers after you get your championship or two here in Boston if you're lucky and you change your attitude, but you ain't getting it when you think you're this man in Boston.
So who is Jayson Tatum, Mike?
He's Jayson Tatum right now. He ain't no one else, and he needs to identify as himself. He's wearing Kobe's wristband up here in the top.
He's the top 10 player in the league. I don't get what do they mean he's trying to be Kobe?
That's what I'm saying. Who is Jayson Tatum?
He imitates Kobe's moves, and he tries to. It's been known since draft.
How many times have you seen Kobe do that that dribble fadeaway at the end of the game to win the game and make it? Tatum is just he's 0 for 6 doing it this year. I don't know. The only time I've ever seen him hit it was against the Bucks in 2021 in the first game of the season. Other than that, I've never seen him hit it.
But he's not.
I'm not worried. I know it sounds crazy, but the game was won in free throws. And it doesn't help that the Celtics shot about 28% from three.
Doesn't help when Dean Wade goes 6 for 6 for 3 in the fourth quarter either.
We talk about Boston, Cleveland. We talk about Boston versus Denver.
Oh, Boston versus Denver.
He missed the shot. We missed the shot to go up with 40 seconds left against Denver too.
Because if you want to talk about Cleveland, I mean, it really was just the fourth quarter. They didn't close that game in the last 6-7 minutes, and Dean Wade had an anomaly game.
I think they were up 22-21 though, weren't they?
They was up 22 or 24 points, and Dean Wade
in the third. And
Dean Wade scored 20 of the 20-something points they scored in that quarter.
Outscored the whole Celtics team by himself.
He had an anomaly game. Great for him.
The loss, in my opinion, was more on Missoula than Tatum, don't get me wrong, but as soon as you see Tatum with 19 seconds getting that rebound, he starts pounding the ball into the court. Missoula, you got to call that timeout. You can't wait to do that. You got to get the ball out of his hands, man.
Going back to the Nuggets versus Celtics game, that could be a marquee matchup if both teams makes the finals. How confident are y'all in Tatum after that performance, though?
I'm still confident in Tatum.
Yeah, I'm not going to lose all hope in him, but
okay, look. These mistakes are recent, though. So, realistically, they should be ready for the playoffs now. They're going to work on these mistakes. I can say that much.
Real quick, fellas.
They just regressed 3 months, though. Like, we thought they had everything figured out last week, and then you see the games that they played this week. I don't know. They've only got another month to work this shit out before the playoffs.
Go ahead, Peso, before I say something.
Nah, I just want y'all to check the chat real quick. I'm trying to see something real quick. Trying to make a quick edit. Just want to make sure. Can y'all see when I'm doing that?
I don't see anything. But
y'all still see yourselves?
Yes, I see everyone.
Okay, cool.
This is their first back-to-back loss since November. So we could kind of pump the brakes on them regressing as far as that standpoint.
But who did they lose?
I agree. They lost to Cleveland and Denver. Recently.
Number 2 in the East and a potential finals matchup.
And a top 3 team in the West. So
and Cleveland without Donovan Mitchell and Max Strus too, with Evan Mobley getting injured in the third quarter.
I can understand the Donovan Mitchell aspect. Please don't bring up Max Strus. He's not moving the needle.
I was going to say Dallas sure knows who Max Strus is after last week.
Max Strus can go 6 for 8 one game and then go 3 games in a row going 0 for 6.
Also lost.
He's
to
not
Lakers
consistent.
without LeBron and AD. Certain times they look down on competition, but now after this week, it looks like they're not even measuring up. Or I don't.
What? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come on, you can't be finals ready blowing a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, can't argue that. Who do they match up with? Who do they match up with in the first round? Like their first, who do you think they match up with?
Well, it depends
currently.
You know how the whole play-in thing goes.
So currently, it would be either Philly, Indiana, and maybe Chicago, Atlanta, if they was to win back-to-back games to get the AFC.
If they could get Indiana, Chicago, they could use that series to work out the kinks. But Indiana, I don't know because you got 7 potential games with Indiana. They might sneak up on you.
I think they beat them in 5, unless Tyreek 5 or 6, unless Maxey gets out of his slump. Because not Maxey. I'm sorry, Halliburton.
Halliburton is in that. He's kind of a back seat. Like his performance hasn't been well because his whole thing was making that 65-game minimum. I don't think he's fully healthy.
I agree. I don't think he's healthy either. But he hasn't looked the same.
I'll live for $40 million though. You give me $40 extra million, I'll play half at just to get my money.
Don't forget about the Heat. Also, the Heat are just a half game out of that 8 seed.
King, welcome to episode 8, my guy.
What up?
The Heat currently are in the 6th seed, so they wouldn't have to be in the play-in, so they'll be playing.
They'll win by
half a game, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I want to get to that.
No, that's true. They're half a game, but considering
I want to focus on the Nuggets and Celtics matchup.
Okay, well, if you look at that Nuggets Celtics matchup, in my opinion, on Thursday, the biggest issues Boston had was Tatum just looked kind of disinterested in that offensively. He was in foul trouble. And honestly, we still win that game if Brown doesn't have a career low in free throw misses. He went like 5 for 13. If he goes 8 or 9 for 13 from the line, we win that game. Even with Tatum struggles.
The Celtics had
He went 7 for 14 from the free throw line. However, that was a game I feel like Tatum should have. I mean, it happens. That's the whole point of having a B player. You know, you have somebody to pick up the slack when A is not going on. Cool. Porzingis did his thing. He tried to fill the void and everything like that. It just came down to those clutch buckets, and Tatum just didn't really produce.
I mean, I also think
it's that shot he missed too, though. That shot, if you'd have hit it, we
all this goes away.
That's what I want to get into. I know we're stuck on the Nuggets game too, but I think what gets me is the most with him is the game against Cleveland. You have the ball in your hands with 20 seconds left on a shot clock, and you're pounding the ball literally the whole time. You was off the whole game against Denver, didn't have a good shooting percentage. You was laxy-daisy on defense and offense. You just looked like you didn't want to be there. You get the ball in the corner with a 3-on-2 in your favor. You're down 2. Drew Holiday just brought you guys back damn near from 10 points, and you decide to shoot a 3 when you could have took it to the lane. I just think that things like that is what it's hard for me to defend him, even though that's my guy. I love the Celtics. That's my team. It's hard for me to defend something like that when that's just the separation line for me. Is that you have to have that ill will. You have to be able to have that certain move, have that certain package in your bag that you know you could always go to and you could expand that stuff out. And he doesn't have that. Yeah. The crazy thing is that Boston is built as a team to where he could have a game like that and they still look like the best team in the NBA. That's the thing that baffles me.
Well, I'll say this. One of the things I noticed, and I said this before in the chat previous, even when we had Porzingis, I still thought we needed another piece front court wise. This size, because if you notice in that game, Jokic, as tall as Porzingis is, Jokic had his way with him. And I think we could have. I mentioned it in the past, like a Dwight Howard, someone that has size, just to throw another body at Jokic. And another thing I thought we had issues with, and it's not just us, because other teams do this a lot too. The switching with the 1 and 5 kills me. Why am I seeing Drew Holiday guard Jokic in the mid post like that? That's not gonna work. And then when you overplay, you're gonna keep getting the same back door to Aaron Gordon that they've been using all last postseason and last season. So it's like I'd rather you add more size in the front court because Xavier Tillman is good to stretch the floor, but he's not gonna move the needle.
But there's a at times, we all play ball here. Majority of us play ball here. There's times and there's schemes where you do want to put a smaller player that's bulky or that could be aggressive on that big at the top of the key when he's not a shooter like that. He doesn't shoot from the three at that point from a high clip. And then when he comes off of that screen or he gets screened, at least you have that big presence down low. Porzingis is not really a guy that can move his feet that well with Jokic from the top of the key and still have to be able to body up with him down low. It's gonna take a lot out on him. I didn't like it, but I definitely.
Okay. But to combat that point, if you do that, then you need to live with Jokic being a scorer. I think you got to pick your poison with Jokic. Would you rather him facilitate and get everyone else involved or let him score? And I think your best bet is to let him score. By you playing that switch, you need to just leave whoever it is, like I'm going to use you as an example, on the island. You don't help and then have someone get an easy back door or have shooters open for easy shots in the corner, which is what Denver is doing.
I just feel like also to say that Jokic had his way with Porzingis is kind of like great. Jokic is great. They both had the same amount of rebounds. Wasn't it 12?
Rebounds don't matter.
Joker dunked, right?
I'm talking about in the long. It was legit plays.
Physically, hold on. Oh, you know what? Yeah, physically, yeah. But let's not get like saying Jokic had his way with Porzingis. Let's get back to how Jayson Tatum didn't have his way with one of the wing defenders, like in Michael Porter Jr. or Aaron Gordon. Let's not point out what
that's just because he had a bad offensive night, though.
But we knew that Joker
he has multiple nights like that.
We knew Joker was a monster going into that. So then to say, oh, Porzingis, we knew that would possibly happen. Jayson Tatum didn't have his way with one of the wing defenders, and that was a matchup that could have helped. He wasn't boxing out how he needed to, and that's how those backdoor alleys kept happening on his head.
It's not true, because there's a lot of times where those backdoors was because of Brown or someone else on the weak side helping, overplaying, and getting the back door.
It always comes down to someone else. It had to be a
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're just trying to pinpoint on Tatum. If you watch the game, there was a play where Drew Holiday switched with Porzingis and he's guarding Jokic in the mid-post free throw. And there were times where Tatum on that weak side, and there were times Brown's on the weak side. They will come and shoot the gap and help, leaving the back door open for the drop-off pass. Hence that little beautiful backdoor pass on the left, backdoor to Gordon. Hence, they overplay. He misses the shot. No one's on the weak side rebounding. Gordon gets the putback.
So that's crazy, man. Efojie, how you feel about this matchup, man?
I'm looking at the stats right now. The game was probably lost in the free throw, so I'm 95%. The Nuggets shot 95% from the free throw line. Boston shot 64%. Like I said, I'm not lost on Boston. They simply just have to use this first round of the playoffs to work out the kinks. But if they come across in Miami or something, I don't know how many kinks gonna be worked out. They're gonna be kinking it and killing because Miami, they know how to get them. So I'm not too lost on them, but this could be potentially the finals. Let's use this time to just the rest of these games should be trying to work it out. And I'm not lost on Boston.
To the point of Miami too, like we was mentioning earlier, Miami would see them only in the conference finals again because the seeding as construct, Miami is out of that play in there at the 6th seed, so they'll have to play Milwaukee again in the first round just to put it out there for play.
So they're only half a game out, and we got a whole month and 5 weeks.
I know. I'm only going off of what it is right now. I do.
Do y'all have these issues if y'all still had Ime as coach?
No.
Hell no.
No, I don't think they'll still have them issues.
So I can't really just throw it all on Tatum and them, man. It come down to coaching too, honestly.
No, it definitely does.
Honestly, because think about it, he filled the role, but he ain't never really start coaching them. He just trying to, he's
the babysitter.
I will say he has been doing a good job this season.
Yeah, so Boston, what was their home rate when they had a record for home games?
Yeah, this is the most consecutive home games they won this season.
We also got to keep in mind that they haven't lost a back-to-back game since November.
Yeah, so this is just stuck in the
But
rubber.
I just feel like who they lost to matters. You lose to a Cavs team that's shorthanded without their star, and then you lose to a potential finals matchup. The fact that we're talking about seeding choices now is crazy. If you're the best team in the NBA, it shouldn't matter who you play in the first round. Roll the ball out. Let's get this go to the next round.
Yeah. And to your point, they lost to a Cleveland team without Donovan Mitchell, and it also took a Dean Wade anomaly.
See, but I think
that
it
should
comes
have been
down.
allowed.
I think it comes down to coaching a lot too. Like you look at when it comes down, you have a 22-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the third, and you got JB Bickerstaff, who's out coaching Joe Mazzulla down the stretch. That's a big reason why they came back in the game. Joe Mazzulla went into the locker room with 2 timeouts in his pocket that he could have used between the 9 and 7 minute marks to go in the fourth quarter. And with 19 seconds left, as soon as Tatum starts pounding the rock into the wood, they got a lot of problems, I think.
How do you know a team loses off of talent versus coaching?
Because with Mazzulla, he's a big guy on analytics. He wants them to take between 45 and 55 threes in the game. He wants them to make sure that they get all their shots between the 3-point line and the paint. He doesn't see any value in any of his guys taking shots in between the paint and the 3-point line. The mid-range jumper, he doesn't want to see his guys taking that. He's a big analytics guy, and I'm not a fan of analytics in sports personally myself, and I think it could hinder the team.
Yeah, what's funny is actually Celtics made more 3-pointers than the Nuggets. The Nuggets were 4 for 21. That's 19%.
And Jamal Murray had a bad game too.
Yep.
You know, but like you said, free throws. I don't think that was the only factor. I do agree with Dreco. Dreco is like coaching. And me, I'm not a big person on blaming the coach at all, because at the end of the day, you could tell him to go set a screen or go drive to the paint. If I don't go out there and do that and not execute what my coach wants me to do, then I can't still blame him for that.
You can't still blame the coach. No,
you got to make the adjustment as a player.
Yeah,
I mean, I honestly
and that player adjustment is making it free throws.
That was teammate first year though, right?
You can't shoot 64%.
He may gain their respect in 1 year. Why can't you just do the same?
I'm not gonna lie, man.
I think Joe has gained their respect though.
Yeah.
I think he gained their respect.
I don't think it's.
I don't remember Jaylen Brown being this bad from the free throw line, to be honest with you.
This is it's an anomaly. I don't like. It's the same thing with the Dean Wade, because you keep bringing up that Cavs game, even though we covering the Denver game. It's an anomaly. Dean Wade had an anomaly in that fourth quarter, scoring that many points in the quarter, which won't happen again. I doubt it, especially if Mitchell's playing. And then Brown having the game that he had, which he did everything right, damn near, except make the free throw.
So are you saying we can expect 80% from Brown in the next game for the free throw line?
No.
No, I'm not saying.
Yes, Missouri, he'll say yes, because he's all on numbers.
I expect him not missing that many free throws.
When you said that missing free throws was an anomaly, what part, Trey, for you, Musa? I'm sorry, what part for you was the anomaly? Brown missing free throws and him scoring?
Yes, he had. They said it during the game. He hasn't missed this much free throws in his career.
So I'm asking you, can we expect 80% free throws from him next game?
He doesn't have to go 80%. I just don't expect him to miss that many free throws that he missed.
But that's
and
the
I don't
problem.
have the exact number.
That's the problem with the Celtics, because we have too much inconsistency with those guys. Tatum had less than 20 points this game. He plays Phoenix tonight, and watch he probably drop a 35 piece on KD. It's just too inconsistent.
He shot 50% from free throw that game.
I think the crazy thing is, like, when you have a roster that's this good and beating up on the league the way that they are, it's expected. The reason why nobody is confident in them winning the chip is because of Jayson Tatum and the way that he plays and nights that he had against Denver. And that's just where I stand on it. I love the Celtics. I have them winning the finals this year. I have them going. But if Jayson Tatum has a game like this, if they play like how they did against Cleveland, how they did against Denver, those guys aren't winning. It's just as simple as that.
So was this game significant enough, and it validates people taking him out of MVP conversation? This game solidify he's MVP?
I think it might hinder his case, but I think he's still in the conversation, in my opinion.
Isn't that crazy in the league how like a few games could change the trajectory? Like, and this is totally off topic, but this, like, Jeremy Lin had 8 games of his stretch. It changed his life. 1 game against the Nuggets, or 3 games to where Jayson Tatum isn't proving up to par and he's not an MVP. But it's crazy how that happens in the NBA.
I think if we have the time, we don't have the time on the show right now, but if everyone looks back at everyone who they feel like is in the MVP conversation, they all had bad games to this magnitude this season at least once or twice. I don't think Tatum's going to win MVP, but I think he still will be in the conversation. But
will he ever get one?
That door is closing.
That's kind of what I want to ask next. Do you think that he'll ever get an MVP?
I hope so.
I hope so, but I don't think so.
No,
wait a minute. Brown got to be injured for a year, and they got to still do good.
So let me just I just want to like. There's players that are just able to get to a spot on the court and get to a move and get in their bag. That's what separates players, stars, superstars, elite stars, however you want to consider it.
Yep.
What does Tatum have that makes him stand out from everybody else in the league?
The ISO bag. That's size.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
okay. Again, listen to what I'm
Tatum
saying.
don't really stand out to me that much.
I think he complains to the refs a lot more than every other player in the league.
There
Maybe
are
other than Luka.
Hell no.
players.
Do you watch Luka?
Yes,
I just said other than Luka.
It's
I
always
said
been.
Luka
I'm about
complains
to
a lot
say.
too.
Luka had a
Luka
crazy
complains,
game.
but Luka
There are
complains.
players that's able to get the rock, get to a spot, and get in their bag. And what I mean by bag is it's an automatic guaranteed. Jokic is a bucket. Curry is a bucket.
Yeah.
LeBron James is still a bucket.
Yep.
What does Tatum have? Giannis is still a bucket.
Yep.
What does Tatum have? Okay, we could talk about his ISO game, but is that efficient?
Hey,
It's
listen,
not efficient.
Tatum just
It's not
got to get
efficient at
downhill.
all.
Man.
It's not efficient.
He just got to get downhill.
And
He's
no, I don't agree that Tatum is
No, it's not
efficient.
efficient.
I don't.
He's not efficient.
No. I'm not saying overall efficient. I'm talking about to your question. Him getting in his bag and what he can do with his bag is not efficient. Like for
No.
example, you said the sidestep and things like that. Okay?
All the examples you want, no.
He has
When-
a tight
I can't take you serious, Ace. You don't like Tatum in the Celtics, so it's okay.
I don't know. You not like it.
I'm a diehard Celtics fan. And I love Tatum, but I'm being realistic right now.
Why can't Tatum live at the free throw line?
He's too strong. You look strong. I'm not giving you no
I'm
foul.
saying he should live.
I mean, that's a good point. You're sitting here at a 6'8", 6'9" frame. I agree he should be driving the ball a lot more.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot better with it.
He has too much in his bag. He don't know what to use. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Well, he's got to figure it out.
That grocery bag is
You
empty.
got to figure it out sooner.
Nah, he got a deep
Later.
bag. Like Tatum, I ain't gonna lie. Tatum is good. He just haven't figured out what to do. I think he just be on his own head sometimes.
So do you feel like
That's
Dreco?
great,
Dreco, you feel like he's at that? And I'm not saying he's the same player. So please bear with me when I say this.
Oh yeah, I'm listening.
Do you feel like he's in that mindset? What LeBron was that first year in Miami, where he's like kind of obviously not the deferring part, but like I don't know, he's kind of second guessing what he can do, or like the last year in Cleveland, like he's second guessing.
I want to stop that there.
Himself.
because- Go ahead, Drake.
Yes.
Go ahead, Drake. Who's for Draco?
Yes, that's where he's at. He just don't know what to do, when to do it. It's all about
He
time.
hasn't like fully
You gotta
unlocked
think about
it.
Yeah.
And that's
Are we,
but
making
that's
another
scary,
excuse,
though.
are we making another excuse for a professional who's number one on his team, who's been there for years? Who is
That's
he
not an
deferring?
excuse because because you I'm tired of Ace. Yo, this is not an excuse because you
Bro,
do this because it's the same. You can say the same thing with LeBron. LeBron's the number one, and
We're
then unlock it.
We're not
So-
talking about LeBron.
We can't say the same about LeBron. We can't say
Solidify.
that.
Yes, you can. Yes,
All
you
right,
can.
but hold on. I'm glad I'm on the big screen right now. So listen, with Tatum,
Go ahead. Put him on the brisket so you can cook that ramen. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yo.
if you're like, for example, if you're having a bad shooting game from the three, why keep selling for the three? Go get a layup. Go to the cup.
Attack.
Like Peso said, get to that elbow spot, get into the bag, the turnaround jumper, the imitation of Kobe. Do that. That shouldn't be hard to figure out. My thing is this: that team is constructed to where you brought in Drew, you brought in Porzingis, which are great pieces and assets. But when it gets down in the fourth quarter, they do this ISO ball with Tatum and Brown.
Yeah,
And
yes.
the ISO ball ain't really been working.
You said so. You finally cooked on
and
something. Thank
and
you.
that's-
That's the best thing you said so far.
Yeah.
Was
That's
the fourth
my
quarter they
only-
do that.
That's my only issue with those guys.
So they still haven't.
Ever since they haven't,
They haven't
they
changed.
still they haven't, and that's my only
It
problem.
was funny. I read an article in the Athletic that I took it as they don't know how to play basketball. That's bad to say, but Missoula literally asked Jason and Jalen, like, so if they show this defense, what are we gonna do? And they just kind of looked at each other. There's no synergy between the two. I don't think like sets and things like that are in their thing. Is if I don't get this off, I'm gonna pass it to you. You get yours off. Shot clock runs down. Try and find a corner three. Let's drive and kick. So
And I think that's where they miss
haven't
Ime.
changed. Like if that's the case, they haven't changed, and I don't think they're gonna blow it up when you paying Jaylen Brown $300 and Jayson
You about to
Tatum
pay Tatum.
$30 million. So you got most of your cap tied up with two guys.
And-
You can cheap ancillary pieces. Like it's gonna be tough. So it's gonna be looking tough for the Celtics when you think about it like that. Because in order to change, you might got to get one of those.
I'm looking forward to seeing.
And to your point, and that's where they miss Ime, because Ime timeout, he cussing them out in the huddle. He's telling them get in between game. If you notice, Tatum's best, not statistical, but if you watch the skill set, he utilized it most playing with under Ime, because he was getting in the in between bag, playing the mid range, getting in the post more. And I think once Ime got out the picture, he went back to the 3 or all the way to the rim, pick and pop, pick and kick. So I think I would agree to add to your point.
Ime also. You go ahead. I'll say it after.
He's an enforcer. That's all I want to say.
Ime also gave that team a defensive identity the year he was there. They sort of like, don't get me wrong, I know they're the number 1 rated defensive team in the league right now, but they don't have that same identity they did when Ime was there. And then I got another question for anyone. Anyone feel free to answer this. Has anyone ever seen Joe Mazzulla drop a play at the end of the game to get a game-winning shot?
No,
I never have. I've watched every game that he's coached.
He's behind the clipboard like this, hoping and seeing and waiting. Like
I thought the way that he operates, I think he just brings a calculator out there. I don't even think he owns a whiteboard or a marker.
Oh,
I mean, listen, man, King, where you at with Tatum, man? How you feeling about this dude?
Me?
I feel like
don't get me wrong. I love Jayson Tatum, man. I hope he brings us Banner 18. Even though I'm wearing the Lakers jersey, I'm just trying to help Jayson Tatum get back to who he is. But he needs that killer mentality. He don't got it yet. He thinks if it's a 1 possession game at the end of the 4th, give me the rock and I got us. And then you go back to the locker room like what happened? Like, oh, they ain't winning. And it's not just Tatum too, it's the Celtics. He's 0 for 5 on taking shots at the end of the 4th quarter.
Passionate, boy.
In a 1 possession
like
game.
a true Celtics
team, hold on, the Celtics team alone is 0 for 9 in that situation. So it's not just Tatum. You don't have anyone reliable to pass the rock to at the end of the game to hit a game-winning shot right now. I'm sorry.
They got to put you on Channel 5 outside the garden.
Listen, and a lot of people think that Celtics fans are just hoorah and green teamers, man. And,
there's a difference between Celtics fans and green teamers, and Pace, so I've been texting you about that. I'm a Celtics fan, not a green teamer. I'm a realist.
Man.
Go ahead, King. What you think?
King, where you at with Tatum, man?
With Tatum, with me, I feel like he, like you said, he emulates Kobe a lot. I feel like he just has to get to the basket. He has to attack. Use that size. You know what I'm saying? Like, use your size. Get to the free throw line. Get them buckets that way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he just needs to get out of his head. I feel like he second guesses himself. Like one point where Dreco says he has too many moves and he's still trying to figure out like what to bring, what bag to pull out or what to do. And then, he stumbles on himself and he messes up. You know what I'm saying?
It's the trainer.
It's the what?
It's the trainer. I'm joking.
Trainer?
That's a different conversation.
Hey, like, honestly, right? Could Tatum become your best defender?
No.
Overall,
No.
or just perimeter base?
Just perimeter base. Like
I believe he can.
Yeah,
Perimeter base.
Yes.
I believe that Tatum is one of the best defensive wings in the NBA right now.
Up top, I would have him on Joker when Joker
He's
up
my defensive
top.
player of the year.
Make him uncomfortable.
You said he's your defensive player of the year.
I'm
He
joking.
was a defensive player. Yeah.
Don't get kicked out of here first episode, man.
He's done.
You think Tatum's one of the
Trey has to be on the
Hold on.
next two.
I'm like, wait, what? I was like,
what? Anyway, you say he's one of the best wing defenders in the league right now?
I think when he plays defense, he's one of the best defenders.
No,
wing
that
defenders in the league.
contradicted that you can't.
He ain't in that
can't be
same
the
combo
best
as Jaden
defensive player
McDaniels.
when you
No,
play
I mean,
defense.
no, he's not. But I think
You
he's
have to
one of
always
the
play
best.
defense.
Okay, when he's held accountable to play defense, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
When he puts the effort behind.
If I could get him playing defense like he did against KD that Brooklyn series, then yes, he's arguably a top 5 wing defender in the
Well,
NBA.
then he needs to go play in Houston because that's where Ime's at.
He needs to go to Houston. Hey, Musa, he needs to go to Houston then.
I mean,
That's
hey,
what Ime's at.
I'm all for
Just
Coach
don't,
Mazzulla getting out of here, man.
just don't trade him for Jalen Green. We don't need that. Never mind. I was about to go crazy. Let's move on.
He did in your city?
Nasty
We
word.
don't need Jalen Green in Boston.
He comes with baggage, doesn't he?
You said it, not me.
We encourage everybody watching, man. Like the channel, subscribe. You see all the socials down below. Follow, share. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. How do y'all feel about Tatum?
Shout out to Peyton Watson too, because I think that's someone he didn't get enough talk from that game. He's he's in that role kind of where Bruce Brown was, minus the playmaking, where he's out there to do the defense and do everything else.
I love
to fill that void. If he can get a consistent 3-point shot, he might steal some of those. He might steal some minutes from Porter and Gordon. I'm just saying because he has the size like they do. He's athletic, not as athletic as Gordon, but he's more athletic than Porter in my opinion. And he does everything else.
Let's get to that next marquee matchup, shall we?
Yeah. Before we move on, I just want to throw a little curveball. Efojie, it's your first episode, man. What's your top 10 in the NBA right now?
Top 10 players. Okay. I'm going LeBron, KD, Tatum.
Wait, this is in order? Sorry to cut you off.
No, I ain't.
Oh, it's not in order. It's just okay.
That's 3.
Can I give you a 5? Can I give you 5? It's so many.
10.
We need 10. We need 10.
You had 3.
You had 3.
Tatum.
You said Tatum already.
I like Ant-Man. Shea.
5.
What's his name? AD.
6.
This is your list. Don't ask us.
It is me. This is me.
AD.
Let him cook.
I was Jimmy Butler. Give me Jimmy Butler.
Hold on.
Interesting. You got three more.
Just thinking around the league. Giannis, Dame, so 8, 9.
You said Dame?
Yeah.
It's his top 10.
This young man's been
better since Stocks.
Hey, Peso, you're not gonna you know what I'm saying?
That's my I got one more.
Is Steph Curry dead, bro? Like
he was
hold on. Let him get out.
Let him go, bro. Come on. We got one more.
Who is top 10? All right. I would say give me
Damn.
One more player. Who you got?
I can't think.
Oh, hell no, Mike.
Hey, real quick, no Joker?
Oh, yeah.
No Embiid?
no Luka?
No Luka?
I wasn't ready.
I let him talk.
He wasn't ready for it. He had brain freeze.
Donovan Mitchell?
I wasn't ready for it.
Brain freeze.
Boy, not even Paolo Banchero, boy.
He's not top 10.
He ain't top 10.
Oh,
He's there next year. Next 2 years.
Regular season, Jimmy's top 10 though.
hey, I just like throwing these little curveballs, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to stir the pot up a little bit.
He's got a nice commercial with Drewski, though, for sure.
Nice commercial.
Moving on, fellas. The Lakers beat the Bucks last night by 1 point.
Y'all see that boy D'Lo cooking out there, man. He cooking with hot grease.
It looked good in the regular season.
It's regular season, son.
Yo, Dreco, you pipe down, bro. You pipe down.
Hey, that boy be missing in the playoffs, though.
Shout out to Cam Reddish.
You can't find him. We can't find. But listen, what he's doing now, you know what I'm saying? All LeBron had to do was tweet out that little Tom thing and had to get people on their toes, man. Because the D'Lo's last 2-3 games, I think he's definitely improved. You know what I'm saying? Like I like what I see from the young boy. I
want to see that same production from the team with LeBron added. With LeBron added, I want that same production to the team.
But I like how he's been stepping up.
If you watch the Lakers, that's tough because LeBron's ball dominant. LeBron's ball dominant. D'Lo's best with the ball in his hand.
He shares the rock, though.
Yes, he shares the rock, but he still is ball dominant. He runs the offense a lot, and D'Lo's best. If you watch D'Lo these last few games, especially when he had his best time in, I'll say Brooklyn and the little stint in Minnesota, he's best with the ball in his hand. D'Lo is not an off-ball player.
There's times we've seen LeBron go off ball and still with the same success. Now that he sees he can trust D'Lo with that, he could go back to the corner and everything. What did Draymond Green say?
He didn't trust D'Lo last year when it was in the WCF?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, especially in that Warriors series, Draymond Green said it was difficult because that was the first time they've seen LeBron off ball. When he had Rondo, Kyrie, D'Lo's been progressing, especially after the trade rumors died. Past the trade deadline, he could let his hair breathe. The young man is cooking. So now we can start seeing a different type of pace. Spencer Dinwiddie adds that type of experience, ball movement off the bench and everything like that. He's confident in D'Lo's teammate. They were together in Brooklyn.
Yep.
In the Brooklyn team and things like that. Shout out to them.
Don't do that again.
Shout out to them.
I think we just got to give them a moment of silence for a second. Okay. Yeah, let's keep it going. We ain't talking about no Brooklyn Nets right now.
I just saying when they was on the Brooklyn team together and they were both cooking, they had that chemistry and everything. They brought it back to the Lakers. That's what I was saying. Mm-hmm. I can't believe the nerve of y'all is saying, rest in peace. This season, we ain't talking about that. I like what I see. I feel confident as far as going forward this season that the Lakers can make a push if consistent, healthy, and consistent.
Mm-hmm. How much of a push you think they could make, Ace?
Them boys burnt out.
I'm just saying from 10th place, 9th place to the 6th seed, 5th seed is only a 4-game difference. So that's a good week for any NBA team. Good week versus a great week.
They are burnt out. AD ain't been hurt this whole season.
Nah, AD's been fighting with some nagging injuries. Nothing serious.
The Lakers.
He sat out against the Leprechauns. I mean, the Celtics, and they won. So, certain games they can pick and choose. And
LeBron still got that ankle issue that come and goes.
But that just happened recently, though. Like, he's human. Steph had a recent ankle injury. Like, it happens to the greats.
LeBron?
Well, you keep throwing straight at the fence like you ain't wearing a Brooklyn jersey. I want to
LeBron's been dealing with that ankle injury since last season.
Yeah.
He's been
LeBron old.
He's just been monitoring it well.
Still kicking some of y'all best teams.
They're going to be burnt out for the playoffs, bro.
I ain't worried about the production. I'm just saying he's old. He going to have them days when one morning his back going to hurt. One day his knee going to hurt. One day his ankle going to hurt. He's almost 40.
I mean, hold up. Brown and Tatum that. Games, too.
So I want to go ahead, Ace.
Even younger players are sitting out. So age, I mean, it just happens. The human body, sometimes the players are sitting out. We've seen it on all ages.
You feel more nagging now than you did when you were 16, bro.
Can the Lakers make a championship push?
Trey's point, Wembanyama been sitting out, and he's a rookie. What is he hurt from?
He's hurt from the record.
That's different than what he was used to. 82 games, a long season.
He played 15 straight seasons with over 75 games each season. I mean, for him to only have an ankle injury is wonderful.
Lakers make a playoff push.
But we know how LeBron is when it comes to maintaining his body and the workouts and the things he does to stay in top shape. You know what I mean? Like he's always been that way. He puts millions of dollars into his body regiments and et cetera, et cetera. So he's always going to play those games that he's been playing. That ankle injury for the span of his NBA career is
amazing.
It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself.
So Draco, you asked if Lakers can make a push.
Yeah, they only got like 5 good players, right?
Yo,
what happened?
You got Austin Reeves, you got D'Lo, you got AD, you got LeBron, right?
Yeah.
The other ones, they just Lakers. You feel me?
So let me.
They got Hayes if they need it.
Let me ask this, and then we could start off with Efojie on this one.
I like Rui.
Lakers versus OKC first round playoff matchup. Who you think's coming out with that one? If that ends up being
I got OKC. I got them. I got OKC.
I'm gonna go Lakers.
I got Lakers in 6
in a series.
Experience.
I got Lakers in 6. I said this last week. They'll rather given the injury history now, that might be different. But I said it last week. I think Lakers would rather play OKC as opposed to Minnesota.
But
Giddy gonna have to shoot.
we seen the same thing with Memphis when they had their run. When they beat Minnesota first. Like sometimes being young and naive and ignorance is bliss. Like sometimes being young and naive and just not knowing, like that can help you. Like they're just like the OKC, they're young, they're popping, and they just got this energy. Is like, they.
How did that help Minnesota?
That's how Golden State got Memphis.
I'm talking when Memphis had that run when they Steph and what year was that? Went too long ago.
That was 2022. I think that was the year Golden State ended up winning it all.
Yeah, so that year when Memphis they went as far as they did, they were talking and popping their stuff and just being young and naive and just unknown. I think that could help in a way. Okay, so they're just good. They're just a good team.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna have an issue. I think LA beats them in 6 for 1 experience. 2 front court. Chet is not gonna be able to get it done. I believe in a 7-game series against AD with that front court, and I think unless the Lakers really gonna be that inconsistent in the 7-game series, Shea's gonna have to really pull that team over the hump. But I just don't see them beating them because of the experience. I think they'd rather play them because of personnel and matchup wise.
What I love about the playoffs, my fault. What I love about the playoffs, whether it's Celtics, Lakers, Milwaukee, one, those back-to-backs, you get a day in between. Second, I got to worry about you. I make a game plan for you and your team. I don't got to worry about Minnesota tomorrow, Phoenix yesterday. Me and OKC. It's Lakers and Celtics. It's Celtics and Philly. I got to worry about you and your whole team and carve that up.
Right.
Man, Lakers just got to avoid Denver, bro. Joker
well, to be honest, to add to your point, Dre, I'm looking at the standings now. They might not if they get to the AFC and everything else is the same because they're in the play-in currently, they won't have to play Denver to the conference finals again. Because then the second round you're looking at LA, the Clippers or Pelicans. Second round.
Yo, Minnesota dropped. They won their top in the West.
They were the number 1 seed until they lost last night. Yeah,
I know. I'm just
so I want to kind of ask this too because we're just pushing past the playing game. But do y'all have them beating the Warriors if they end up matching up against them?
That'd be good.
So the Lakers?
Yeah. Because they're in LA too. I think they beat them.
Yeah, the Warriors, just not this year.
And I could agree because I think the same thing with the front court is going to become the problem. Shouts out to Draymond Green and stuff like that. But I just think the thing with the Lakers when they're in moments where they could achieve something, a trophy, like we see it in the in-season tournament, they seem to turn it up a notch a little bit.
What is
and also
getting somebody who can help like that front court? What do you think is the big
I would have loved them to go get Daniel Gafford, but Dallas and them getting them. But OKC.
I would like them to see them bring back some talent like how they did when they won in the bubble. JaVale McGee would have been nice. I wish Dwight Howard had a slot to still come back in the league. DeMarcus Cousins. I know those guys don't have a chance probably anymore, but
I like Boogie, but I think for LA, I think they would have been better with Dwight.
Yeah,
because they needed someone else that can bang down low. Same thing I was saying about earlier with Boston. Instead of having Porzingis there, that would have been perfect to have them there. Gafford would have been a perfect piece at the 5 because now you can put 80 in his natural position, which is the 4, and he could still do everything he does being at the 4. And now you even have more front court depth.
I just don't get why Steve Kerr can't go get a 6'10" rim runner, defender. I don't get it.
Because he likes that small ball. He likes having Draymond and Jackson Davis at the front court.
I like him. I like Jackson Davis. I love him.
He's solid.
What about Robert Williams?
He's actually
he's hurt. He's out.
Yeah.
He got it. I like Robert Williams, but he has to just stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, he's another good one.
They say the Celtics swindled.
But yeah. Another thing I want to point out because Peso brought up the playing game, I want to give them a little 50 seconds of fame. I think Sacramento beats Dallas in that playing game because they're gonna be in Sacramento, and I think Sabonis will be able to do enough in the front court to get them over that first game. And because of the injuries, that Sacramento Minnesota first round
Luka gonna snatch that light. Luka snatching the light.
I don't know. That Minnesota Sacramento series, even though Towns is out, but Ant-Man versus Fox, that might be a little fun series to
I like that. I'm gonna like that one.
I'm putting that out there.
Sabonis cooking. I ain't going.
Another thing with the
Bonus on
Lakers
fire.
too is last year when they made that deep playoff run, they had a guy like Lonnie Walker that could come off the bench in the fourth and give them 12, 14 points each game. I don't know if the Lakers got a guy that can come off the bench like that this year. Like I understand Austin Reeves could do it here and there, but Lonnie Walker was just very consistent last year in the playoffs.
Versus Warriors.
I think Dinwiddie can do it.
I believe Dinwiddie
don't know how to do it yet.
So it's gonna be, he has to get some. And I think to Ace's point is having those days in between in the postseason will help kind of get him more adjusted into the system and what they're running as far as plays and things like that. He did have a big play last night. I caught the end of that in the highlight. That block on Dame.
That block on Dame.
But D-Lo, man, he just had it. He got into his zone. I don't care if you're the 15th man on that bench. An NBA player, if they can get into a zone like that, there's nothing you can do.
No,
so what about Gabe Vincent too, though? If he come back and
he shouldn't play. He shouldn't play. Just bench him.
I mean, he did good last year with the Heat.
Yeah, he should stay in the Heat.
So,
because now you got Dinwiddie there. Whose minutes are you going to take away? Because you're not taking away from Reeves or D'Lo.
No, you're not.
Rui's going to have some minutes, even though he plays the wing, but still. I would prefer them to play Jackson Hayes just to give AD a break when they need to. I don't know what's going on with Christian Woods.
He has some injuries.
It seems like to me, anytime you put on that jersey like Mike got on, they do the opposite. Because I don't know if y'all seen Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley can't miss now all of a sudden. But last year, he couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. So I just don't understand. It must be a LeBron effect.
Torian Prince, they could take, or Cam Reddish maybe. They could rotate.
Can they please sit Torian Prince? I'd rather play Cam Reddish. Yeah. If Torian Prince ain't making shots, he doesn't do anything else if he doesn't make shots.
I agree with you 100% on that.
So we talking about the Lakers quite a bit. What about them Bucks? Ooh. They lost 2 in a row.
One by
lost to the Lakers.
LeBron. Ace, can I have that same energy, please, Ace, for the Bucks that you had for the Celtics earlier about losing 2 in a row?
Fine.
Ace, real quick before you go, is Milwaukee Fools gold?
They fools. I don't know about gold. Honestly, I feel like this. The difference between them and the Celtics has been more solidified as a program. Now, no excuse to Milwaukee. They lost coach after coach, and with Doc and everything, they're practicing with Giannis as center now. They're trying to get more reps with either Giannis on the court alone or Dame on the court alone.
Yep.
Who did they lose to the first game? The back-to-back losses. They lost to the Lakers and Golden State. They lost to 2 teams lower. I just felt like the wins, the back-to-back losses for Boston meant more because you're playing a number 2 seed and a finals matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like no slack to them because I'm Musa. I'll get to it because I know you gotta have something after.
No, I'm just mad you and not keeping the same energy because you kept Boston lost to Cleveland and this and that. Cleveland without Mitchell, they lost to Golden State. Golden State. How are we the same energy?
But hold on, my boy. Well, if you let me speak, I can have the same energy.
Now you too calm. This ain't the calmness I was waiting for.
Go ahead, Musa. You got it, man. Take the show away.
Nah, go ahead. Same energy.
Ain't Chris Middleton still hurt?
Chris Middleton is still hurt. Either so,
Chris Middleton still hurt.
Chris Middleton. I'll let you go, Ace. But Chris Middleton ain't gonna make the difference for what the hell's going on.
Honestly, but they've been up and down this whole season, so like that's not surprising. Them losing to people like that.
Was Chris Middleton even okay? What was Chris Middleton before they won the finals? I'm not saying he was a bad player.
The second option.
I'm not saying he
was a bad all-star.
I'm not saying he was a bad player.
Hey, so don't do this. Don't do this.
A healthy Chris Middleton is going to make the difference for that team.
Yes. Hold on. We're gonna kill this logic now. A healthy Chris Middleton probably would have had a better chance of them beating Boston last year. That's why they didn't win last year because they didn't have Middleton last year.
Last year he was playing a lot better than this year.
And he was still hurt last year.
I could agree with the roster last year, maybe not this year. It'll be a good series, but I don't think that Chris Middleton really moves the needle that much for the Bucks, giving them a chance to get to the finals. this
Just
year.
make sure you clip. Peso, make sure you clip that so I can put that on the short too. Clip that too.
It'll be here. But my thing is, like, keep the same energy. The energy wasn't that strong for Chris Middleton before they won.
That's cap because at least for me, Dreco could attest how I was talking about Chris Middleton. So I've been saying about Chris Middleton. I've been keeping it consistent.
Y'all want Malik Beasley or Chris Middleton in his prime?
Chris Middleton is prime.
Chris Middleton.
That's not even a debate.
I'll take Chris
Middleton.
Bro,
I'm trolling you. I'm trolling. I'm just trolling.
Actually falling though. I'm confused.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think with him being back healthy for Milwaukee right now, like I think Dame takes away from that a bit with him being there now. I think Giannis, I think Giannis is having one of his best seasons. I think the season before when he won the MVP was his best in my opinion. But I think he's having a good season. But I do think he digressed a bit on the defensive end. The energy is just not the same there for me. So that's why that's taking all that into account. That's why I think that with healthy Chris Middleton being there, I don't think it moves it that much. You know, they're on the roll. They've been getting it together. These last two games is different. Can't go game for game and stuff like that. But there's a different aura of those guys with those guys.
I would disagree from this standpoint. If the offensive side, right? We're only worried about Giannis and Dame. You can kind of scheme against that a lot better, considering those are the only two options you have to focus on.
So what when you add
Middleton onto the offensive piece on the court with them, now you have to account for someone else that can get hot and give you 20 to 25 if he gets hot on a given night. Plus the shot creating and to be able to facilitate, and it gives Dame breaks on offense too, because now he can also run the pick and roll with Giannis
and give you length defensively.
A quick thing on Giannis defensively, though. When Adrian Griffin was there, he was ranked 81st in the league. Since Doc Rivers has been there, he's now top 10 in defense.
Just rating?
Yes.
I don't even have faith in that statistic.
I'm just saying. I know it's only been like a 20-game sample, but it's been night and day.
Oh no, I'm not even about the sample size. This defensive rating is like how you feel about analytics.
Fair enough. I got you on that. You got me on that. I got you. All
right. Isaiah, what's your take with the Bucks? You think their fools go this season?
I feel like Doc is not as bad as we think. I know it's not. You know, he's gotten the team with talent, but I think we kind of look at him like, oh, he just got talent. So I think this season, they've already won a ton of games before he got there. So I think for him, I think it's important to understand, like, he's kind of he brings the cohesion, like, so to speak. Like, I don't think he's just like whatever. Like, he's like, oh, he just gets the jobs because of his name. Well, it's kind of true in a sense, but I think this season he could coach them to a championship.
I know he blew a lead his first game there, right?
Right. But what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen now? Like,
you not learn the team.
But time has gone past, and he's learned it. He's learned them for the most part. I mean, they've lost, but can that not be on the players? I don't think it's him. I don't think they're fool's gold.
Like you said, Ace, with the Clippers, you gotta give it some time to gel. You know?
Yeah, absolutely right.
It's fluid.
I want to ask everybody: Mike, Musa, Peso, King, Isaiah, Dreco. At one point this season, I said March, the end of March, maybe April. At what point this season do we be like, all right, this team is playoff ready, or are they just in a good seeding? Playoff ready versus good seeding might be different.
I figured that out by All-Star break.
I was going to say that it's whoever gets hot towards the end of the season. You got to be hot at the right time to win that championship. If you're hot before that and you go on a cold streak, you're done. You ain't winning nothing.
Because the last team that did crazily was the Celtics, right? When Celtics had that crazy run going into the playoffs, then they went straight to the finals.
From January on, after that All-Star break,
last year,
fire.
Last year
when they had
Ime too.
After that All-Star break, they caught fire. Can OKC, Minnesota, and Cavs sustain their hot streak?
We will see.
Minnesota will be tough without Towns.
Yeah.
I think. Honestly, it's the same thing I said in previous episodes. If you haven't watched the previous episode, go check those out.
Nas Reed,
I think because
he can sustain
like that
the whole season. I don't know. Like,
I think they will. I think they can stay around. Well, I don't know about Minnesota, but I think OKC can stay around that top spot considering them being young, and they're not knowing like they just want like the old veteran teams like we just need to get into the playoffs, and they know how to turn that switch on. The young teams they're trying to sustain it because that's what all they know how to do is go out there and just play ball and win. Those games they don't have to really win and sustain that peak for playoff basketball. So I think OKC could still be up there at the number 1 or 2 spot, but I think Minnesota and Denver might swap. I think Denver might get that 2 seed.
Another thing with Milwaukee too. I don't know why Adrian Griffin didn't do this, but you look at the Clippers game. I believe it was Monday night where Milwaukee had that comeback. Doc Rivers got the genius idea of Dame's not getting the same production in Milwaukee that he was in Portland. He said, "Oh, well, we'll run some of the same plays that Dame was playing in Portland. Now we'll run them here in Milwaukee." I don't know how Adrian Griffin couldn't think of that.
They didn't want to try that and be wrong. That's the whole thing.
How can it be wrong, though? He was just doing this for the past 8 years in Portland.
Because you know what it is, man, right now, right? Giannis is their guy, right? You know, they said Dame, Giannis is their guy.
Yeah, he's the man for sure.
They're trying to keep him happy throughout the years. Like, even though he got Dame, he still be itching like, man, I'll still leave.
That's how I was shocked he signed that extension in the offseason. He said he wasn't going to do it.
He's not happy there right now.
He said so. To clarify that, he said he wouldn't resign. He said he wouldn't resign if they don't make any moves to build the team better.
So that
then he went and got named.
Okay.
And then he resigned, and he said he would defer to help Dame get comfortable. He just wants to win. And the thing with Jonas, he can defer and still go get the averages he can because of his size and his ability. Like,
do you guys think that Dame is happy?
No. Did you? I sent you that quote earlier in the week, Pace. So
I don't think he's happy, but I don't think it has nothing to do with basketball.
It's his family.
Yeah, he's dealing with off the court situation.
He's going through a divorce, so
him going to Miami. You think his family would have been there?
No, they would have been having more fun without him.
Yeah, at least you get something to relieve the pain. You know what I mean?
I will not confirm or deny those allegations from Mike. I will confirm. I will not confirm or deny the allegations from Dreco or Mike.
Ocean Drive a little better than what's in Milwaukee?
I don't know. Go ahead.
I just feel like I appreciate him being open about his life because sometimes we don't get that until the off season. When what he said, he had a quote. He said when guys are out there playing and they have nothing on their mind, he said, "Well, I'm not like that." He said, "I'm going through a divorce. I have my kids. I have this situation." I feel like Miami would have been better personally as far as like outside life.
Even the
However, I'm not gonna say NBA Dame is happy. Him as an NBA player, you're playing against another player who's great, who wants the same championship aspirations you have. You're in a better position now than you were in a Portland rebuilding team.
He wanted to be with Bam, though.
Let me be real, though, right? Dame is good, but I wouldn't say he was good enough for Giannis to have to defer to him, though. If you get what I'm saying.
Also, you think
that's my dog.
He's still
Giannis did that to feel comfortable, though.
Huh?
I feel like Giannis did that to help Dame feel comfortable. Like, all right.
Yeah. Because Giannis is still going to get his. Giannis is still going to get his, and he saw